Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about a question that worries almost every Indian. Why is the Indian rupee depreciating? Why does 1 US dollar keep getting more expensive in terms of rupees? And is this a sign that our economy is in trouble, or is there a much larger global story behind it? In this video, I am going to explain this in a structured and simple way, what rupee depreciation actually means, how the rupee has moved against the dollar from the past decades till today, why the rupee keeps falling, and how this decline impacts the Indian economy and the average person. So make sure you watch this video till the end, and before we begin, don't forget to like, share and subscribe so you never miss practical financial explanation that help you understand what's really happening around you. To begin with, let us understand what depreciation really means. When we say the rupee is depreciating, it simply means that you now need more Indian rupees to buy the same 1 US dollar than before. For example, if earlier 1 US dollar was worth rupees 50 and today it is worth rupees 90, then the rupee has clearly lost value. This movement is called currency depreciation, where the rupee weakens and the dollar gains strength relative to it. This is not decided by one government or one central bank. It is decided in the global currency market based on demand and supply. When global demand for dollar rises, dollars appreciate. And when fewer global participants want rupees or more rupees enter the system, the rupee weakens. Now let us look at how this has happened historically. The journey of the rupee against the dollar tells a very clear story. In 1980, 1 US dollar was roughly rupees 8. By 1990, it has reached around rupees 17.5. In the year 2000, it has hovering near rupees 44 to 45. By 2010, it was around rupees 46 to 47. Then in 2020, it touched approximately rupees 74 to 75. By 2024, it was close to rupees 85 to 86, and the most recently in 2025, the exchange rate has moved near rupees 90 for $1. So what we see is not a sudden collapse but a long-term decline spanning 45 years, where the rupee gradually moved from rupees 8 per dollar to nearly rupees 90 per dollar. That shows that the rupee has gradually lost purchasing power in comparison to dollar over time. This long-term trend did not happen because of any single event. It is an outcome of multiple economic cycles like global recession, inflation differences, capital flows, changes in domestic policy, global interest rate moves, and adjustment in economic structure. That is why this decline has been slow, gradual, and spread over decades. There is no sudden breakdown. The rupee's value has consistently adjusted to global and domestic realities. Now, the big question is, why does this happen? The answer lies in both global and Indian specific forces. Let us start with global reasons. The US dollar is the world's main trading currency. Most global trades, cross-border payments, international loans, and global reserves are denominated in dollars. So whenever there is a higher demand for dollars, the dollar strengthens automatically. For example, when interest rates rise in the United States, international investors prefer to invest in US bonds and financial markets because they get a higher and safer return. When money flows into the US in large amounts, the demand for the dollar rises and every other currency declines in comparison. This includes the rupee. Second, global commodities such as crude oil, metals, and petrol products are priced in dollars. India imports around 85% of crude oil it uses, so whenever oil prices rise or whenever India needs more oil, we have to spend more dollars. When India's dollar requirement increases, pressure comes on the rupee and it weakens. Third, global investor behavior plays a role. During global uncertainty, such as war, recession fear, political instability, or banking crisis, international funds exit emerging markets and rush towards safe haven currencies. The safest currency historically has been the US dollar. So when foreign investors withdraw money from Indian markets, they convert rupees to dollars, which directly weakens the rupee. Now coming to India's specific reason. The first reason is the trade deficit. India imports far more than it exports. We import oil, electronics, industrial machineries, fertilizers, and other essential commodities. Although we export services like pharmaceuticals, engineering goods, and agricultural items, the inflow is still lower compared to what we spend internationally. Whenever imports exceed exports, more dollars go out than come in, which pushes the rupee downwards. The second reason is inflation. If inflation stays consistently higher in India compared to developed economies, the rupee's value erodes faster in domestic terms. When international purchasing power declines, global financial markets automatically adjust the currency downward. Persistent inflation weakens confidence in the rupee over time. The third reason is simple: demand and supply of currency. When more of our businesses, students, travelers, and investors need dollars, and when the dollar inflow does not match this need, the rupee weakens. The economy always follows this basic demand supply principle, and the rupee has been reacting to this for decades. Now let's move to the impact of this depreciation. As the rupee has weakened over the years, its effect on the Indian economy are clearly visible. The first impact is that imports become more expensive. India spends significantly more rupees on crude oil, electronics, medical equipment, fertilizers, and defense purchases. That translates into higher transportation costs, higher fuel prices, and higher raw material cost for companies. As import prices rise, companies increase their selling prices, which leads to inflation. This affects household, businesses, and daily consumption patterns. Your petrol becomes costly, manufacturing companies pay more, eventually consumers pay more. Another major impact is on foreign loan repayment. Indian companies that borrow from abroad must repay in dollars. When the rupee depreciates during repayment, they need more rupees to buy the same dollars. That reduces profitability and affects expansion. Government expenditures also increases. When rupee weakens, the government has to allocate more rupees for every imported product. That affects the fiscal budget and public spending priorities. Foreign travel and overseas education immediately became expensive too. Fees, medical treatment abroad, and currencies conversion become costlier for Indian families. The long-term effect is widening trade deficit, weakening reserves, and increasing economic vulnerability. This means continued depreciation becomes a deeper financial concern rather than just an exchange rate movement. So, in summary, rupee depreciation increases import cost, rises inflation, increases loan repayment burden, and brings additional financial pressure on households, companies, and government spending. If this depreciation continues gradually, the economy can still adjust, but if it becomes sudden or sharp, the negative impact becomes immediate and severe. This clearly shows that weak currency is not just about exchange rates, it becomes an economic challenge that affects living cost, planning, business growth, and overall financial stability. That brings us to the end of the explanation. If you found this video helpful, do like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And comment below with your opinion on whether the rupee can touch rupees 100 per dollar in coming years and what you think will drive it. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.